Greetings, travelers.
And welcome to another episode of Tales of the Dice Roll, Phasers and Fates.
Last you left off, our group traveled to Vesk Prime, seeking out an ancient compass that would point them in the direction of the Fate Scriptor.
Oh, yeah. After the roller coaster that last episode was, I'd nearly forgotten. Didn't they trade Sylarisk away?
Yeah, I can't believe they just gave him up like that. What a...
I'm sure he had his reasons, but at least the group is following after him?
I can't wait to see what crazy things they get into this time.
Let's find out.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Tales of the Dice Roll, Phasers and Fates. As always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jonas, and once again, I am joined by our crew.
I'm Evan Saxton, and I'm playing Miros Gray.
I'm Nicholas Reysack, and I'm playing Tok'Ssik.
I'm Porter Williams, and I'm playing Ticknor.
I'm Aaron Moore, and I'm playing Sylarisk.
And to do a quick little recap on our last episode, our crew left the Hannikin homeworld and landed on Vesk Prime, meeting old friends and new enemies. Ticknor met an old battle buddy as they swapped stories, but yet, in the very end, they ended up fighting as his old battle buddy was attempting to get him to join back up with the army. It was an emotional time for Ticknor, but he prevailed in the end, and while he was going through that, our 3 other crew members were taken prisoner on Vesk Prime, and through some shenanigans, our 3 other crew members managed to escape from their cell and quickly found themselves in a fight with even more guards. As that fight ensued, Ticknor found his way back to the prison area where they confronted the general. The general offered them a generous deal, Sylarisk for their freedom. They took it. Sylarisk was taken off by gray scientists and were closely followed behind by our 3 other crew members, and that is where we are now. You guys are in space, traveling through, following at a medium distance, staying out of the short-range sensors of the gray scientist ship as you guys follow along. It doesn't take long. You guys are only in hyperspace for a couple minutes before you arrive orbiting a snowy world. The gray ship orbits for a small time before it lands in a relatively unpopulated area of this planet. And you guys follow it down as you land. We're going to cut to Sylarisk. It's a blinding frenzy of lights and sounds. They put you out on the ship with some concoction of chemicals that knock you out. You're not sure how long you're out for, but you wake up to a blinding white light, and you hear the familiar chatter of the gray scientists as they're chattering over your table. They're in full conversation. They don't even seem to notice that you're awake yet. First, they're chattering about the test they're planning on running. They're talking about, we should test his blood levels, see what makes him tick. Oh, no, we could just, dissect into him, cut him apart, see what's really inside these things. But it quickly evolves. You hear one of the scientists talking about the compass that you guys captured last episode. And the conversation seems to quickly start revolving around this compass. The Greys state that the compass it's useless without a guidance crystal. It's unable to be used. It needs this guidance crystal to direct it to where you can program this compass, which is why the Greys, you hear them mention they hadn't gone for it after the Vesk had it, because they didn't have a guidance crystal. They saw no reason to seek after this compass since they didn't know where they could find themselves a guidance crystal. And as the conversation swirls and revolves around you, you doze in and out of consciousness as the drugs still float through your systems as they start hooking up to different machinery. And we cut to you 3. You guys land just outside this gray facility, a bit far off into the forest. What do you guys want to do?
Well, as Orangutan James has freely been broken out and is now a new man, we are kicking back and drinking champagne.
I'll approach Orangutan James and I'll just look at him. So, what do you do? You can do that on the ship. This is an important mission. You should stay safe and warm.
Should we give him a gun?
Yeah, just...
He kind of slams his hands against the walls of the ship.
Oh dear.
Okay, Orangutan James, just in case any trouble happens, I'm gonna take him to one of the turrets and I'm gonna give him a quick rundown. To be like, if you see anyone that's not us walking up, turn them into dust. You got that?
He just kind of climbs and hangs on the back of the chair for a little bit, and then he just kind of lets himself down, and he just kind of sits there.
All right. You want to do a little test shot? You see that? You see that tree?
He kind of points out the window.
Okay, get rid of that tree. Get rid of that tree, James.
And he just kind of sits in the chair.
I think he's a lost cause.
We should like
Lost cause. This is our greatest warrior.
I think we should lock him in the hole. He's got plenty of room to run around, but he can't change anything too bad.
Okay.
Because we need to get going now.
I agree. I guess we do need to move.
Come on.
Okay, orangutan Jones.
He starts kind of following after you.
Yeah, then as soon as I get into the hole, I'm just gonna lock in his. Alright, well, let's get out of here.
I gave orangutan James a little handgun before we went.
You're blasted from inside.
They're dead.
As you guys are walking out, you hear from inside the ship, and then a scream of the monkey. And you hear him clambering around in the hole for a bit, but there's no more laser sounds.
You hear them thunder around.
Wait! I think James may have shot himself. We need to go back.
No, we don't. Ignore it. He's fine.
James, if you can hear me, shoot again.
I'm gonna grab you by.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I'm
good.
gonna grab you by the scruff of your neck and toss you out of the ship.
It's a cold planet. The wind is whipping, but you see the research facility not far off. It's maybe half mile away, but the snow and wind is blowing, and the visibility's kind of low, but the facility's not hard to make out.
Can we see the entrance all the way over there?
The entrance, not entirely, but you can guess that you're probably on. It looks like this facility has a one entrance kind of area, and you seem to be on the entrance side.
And can I look in like between the areas, see if there's like any like surveillance or
Roll me a perception check.
anything along like that?
I'll do that as well. It's looking bad out here. That's a natural one.
Oof.
30.
30.
13.
You gotta kind of look, and this big chunk of snow kind of hits you in the eye, and you're like rubbing the snow
Yeah,
out of your eyes.
it's on my visor.
You can't really see anything. You kind of rub it on your visor, and then it just kind of heats up and smears water across your visor, and it just kind of fogs up, and you can't really see anything. You're looking around, and from what you can tell, it doesn't look like there's any sort of security anywhere on the outside of this facility. You see a large water pipe running across up into this big like reservoir, and you can assume that's water that probably gets piped into the facility. But in terms of security or guards, you can't really see anything on the outside. It seems like this is a pretty remote facility, and security is not one of their main concerns.
I could probably work with that door, but although there may be people waiting for us on that other side.
Well, we try to stay away from their surveillance, but you're right there. They might know we're coming. Miros, care to get the door open?
Can do. And I'll walk over and start working on that thing.
All right, give me an engineering check.
All right. That's an 18 plus 17.
Yeah, you you look at the keypad. This is something you've seen before. It's a pretty simple keypad. It's pretty commonly used across the galaxy. You pull out a little kit from your waistband, and you kind of plug it in. You work around with your kit a little bit. It doesn't take long before you hear the seals on the door as the door swings open. As you guys all look through this door, it seems to go down a long hallway. It seems to go down into what looks like a mess area and split off into several other hallways, one in each cardinal direction. But standing in the hallway in front of you guys, you see a couple clusters of gray scientists chattering and talking with their notebooks, and you see a couple lift their heads and turn to the door that just opened, but most of them seem focused on their conversations. And you see rows and lines and lines and lines of different cells that you can presume are probably holding test subjects.
So have they noticed us?
They noticed the door opening. They haven't noticed you specifically, because you guys all kind of kept out of the door.
Shoot. How do we play this? Do we barge in? When they know that the Vesk are invested in their work. I have my old military papers on me, but do you think they'd
We
buy
act
it?
like we know the place. Let's see how hard that gets.
But they might know us specifically from being a Yote.
What would that mean? We fit in so well in these areas. Our group could never stand out.
We're cartographers. We're just making maps.
We act like we know the place.
They're not gonna know me. I could have prisoners.
Okay. We
Alright.
do need let's have a game plan. Are we gonna try to sneak, like, assimilate in to sneak past? Is that our idea?
I think we assimilate, yes. I'll have you two as my prisoners because they understand the Vesk. And then if things go wrong, we blast.
You guys come in, and the first group of Vests that were Gray that were standing near the door, looking a little confused, see you come in. One of them kind of shuffles off from the group and goes,
Who are you? Why are you here?
We are Vesk. I'm a Vesk from Vesk Prime. These are my prisoners. We're checking on your work.
We weren't made aware of any new experimentation deliveries.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to keep your funding?
I don't get paid enough for this.
That's what I thought.
Just follow me. Take you to the guy you're supposed to talk to.
All right.
and he starts escorting you down the long hallway. As you're walking down, you get a peek into some of these. Each one of these rooms seems to be an experimentation room. There seems to be a room with a bank of computers and arrays of monitors that you can see several grays working on in each one. And you get a look in. It seems like each different cell has some sort of creature from across the cosmos in it, and they seem to be running experiments on all of them. But he takes you to the mess hall. He walks you over to one of the tables. He taps one of the. He taps the gray sitting there. He kind of looks up from his food. He's like,
What do you want? Who's this guy? Why are you here?
Vesk military. We're here checking on one of the experiments.
I wasn't made aware of any orders. Do you have papers on you?
Yeah, as I said.
kind of scans over them.
These are old military documents.
I'm part of the old guard.
Fair enough. Do you have any documentation on these two?
These are new prisoners. I have not time to stop by Vesk Prime yet.
You don't have time to stop by Vest Prime. Where'd you pick them up at?
From our old battlefield. It is a confusing battle, to say the least. I never expected a rat and a rat to be working together.
So you came here first? Whose orders?
General Rexton.
I'll have to send some comms out.
We can do that later. We have time for this now.
Don't tell me how to do my job. You're gonna take them where I tell you to take them. I'm the head researcher around here. I'm the only reason you're gonna get paid today, buddy.
Fine.
Take them down to the right hallway, find an empty cell, and just throw them in there. But as you guys are walking down this hallway, you see in one of the facilities, you see Sylarisk on a table.
There he is.
He's in his Astrazoan form. They've reverted him back to his normal form. And you see a bunch of grays working frantically with their monitors. Speaking of which, Sylarisk, we cut to you. The drugs are wearing off. You are fully conscious now.
He's faded.
And fully aware of where you are. It's the same facility that they used to have you in. The grays are working on you. They've got you clamped to this operating table. What would you like to do?
First, I want to see where attention lies with the scientists in the room. Where are they paying attention to me, or are they still talking?
It seems that they're looking at some of them have some handheld devices, but most of them are on the other side of this glass door. There's one gray in the room with you, looking at kind of this handheld monitoring device, and the other 3 grays in the room are on the other side of this glass wall, all working on monitors.
Do I breathe air?
Yes.
I want to hold my breath and try to make my vitals go off the walls.
Okay. Give me a quick medicine check.
Neat.
Cool. 22.
Okay. You do some breathing techniques, and then you breathe in and out, long and slow, and then you just start holding your breath. It takes a little bit for any effect, but you hear the beeping on the monitors start to spike, and the Greys start chattering in their language that you hear. They're talking about the vitals are spiking, and they're not quite sure what's going on. And two more of them kind of scramble into the room, and you see them working with a cart, sorting through some medical equipment.
Are they in hand's reach?
They're about to be. They're working towards you. They're kind of bringing this cart over to you, and they're starting to get ready to use medical supplies on you.
How many are in the room? In the actual like?
There's 2 in the room with you.
And
one of
2
them just left, and then there's a 3rd one on the other side of the glass wall, or a 4th one, I should say.
Okay. I am going to just, as soon as he comes in distance, just grab one of them, their heads, the scientist heads, if I can, and just like smash it on the table that I'm laying on.
Okay. They've
Not
kinda
like
got
necessarily intending to kill him. I'm just pissed and I want to hurt them.
They've kind of got in your Astrazoan form. They've got each of your limbs kind of clamped down right now.
Okay.
How would you like to remedy that situation?
Is my head clamped down?
No.
So they got 4 of my 5.
They've got your limbs clamped down, but your head is still kind of free to move around.
I want to wrap my head around whoever's coming close to me and just, because I can like move them like appendages and whatnot. I feel like, and then yeah, that's all I want to do.
Okay. Go ahead and just make an unarmed strike.
11.
You go to stretch out your head, but the scientist kind of reels back real quick before you're able to wrap around him. He goes, "Oh, I didn't know he could do that."
I'll kill you all! I know where you live.
Do we like hear this like commotion?
Yeah, you guys hear this commotion coming from the room next to you.
Alright, I'll do my best. Like, you two stay here. As I sort of like barge out of the room.
I don't think I have an option.
So are we just in a room by ourselves, or
You guys are in separate rooms across the hall from each other. They've put you in a locked room, and
My rat is firmly placed against the glass.
I'm assuming you shut the door but didn't lock the door behind them, because they're going to send scientists to experiment on you, but there's none in the room currently right now, as they weren't expecting any deliveries.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start making my way over there. Like,
Okay.
yeah, sort of like pulling up the whole like begrudging like guard act, just like boom, boom, boom.
So are you gonna go into the room with Sylarisk, or are you gonna go into the monitor room?
I also go into the monitor room first.
All right, you go into the monitor room, and one of the one gray still left in there looks up at you. He's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I was sent from Vesk Prime to look into the Astrazoan experiment.
Well, maybe you can help out. I don't know what the heck's going on with that thing, but it's lashing out. It's going all crazy. You think you can, calm it down?
Perfect. As I sort of like cracked my elbows, looking all tough. Let me into the room.
Okay, sure. And he slams a button and the doors slide open.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make my way inside.
The other 2 grays turn to you quickly and they go, "You think you can help out with this thing?"
Yes. All right.
While this is going on, I want to, since the room is empty, right? Doors unlocked.
Yes.
I want to see if I can find anything of use on these computers in here.
Okay.
Smart thinking.
Go ahead and just give me a perception check.
24.
A 24. You start you hop onto one of the monitor banks and you start scrolling through. A lot of it seems to be research data on all of the different creatures in here, but you come across one of the first files you see is Astrazoan, high profile. And you kind of click into it and you start reading through and scanning through these documents. It seems Astrazoans are of vital importance to the Greys. It doesn't detail exactly why, but it seems research into the Astrazoans is an ongoing project. Claims that they're invaluable assets, capture at all costs, do not allow them to die, and if there are any reports of Astrazoans being captured, they must immediately be brought here for further research and experimentation. But also you see in bold lettering, huge danger, do not allow to escape. And you start reading through and there's details and accounts of Astrazoans being ruthless, horrific monsters. Murdering Greys. You're reading through testimonials and stories of slaughters committed by Astrazoans. But you start seeing there's a lot of data, but it seems what's truly known about the Astrazoans is still very little.
All right. Well, I'm going to back up my own hard drive, save it, and then I want to wipe what I can.
All right. You want to try and just wipe this computer, or are you going to try and wipe the server?
I wanted to wipe the server if possible, but if I'm only able to...
Give me an engineering check. This will determine whether or not you're able to get into the server and access it, or just this main computer.
This is
drop that.
This is exciting.
31?
Sounds about right.
You you know computers. You've been working with computers and technology your entire life. You pull up some consoles, you start working through. The system's got a couple back walls and firewalls, but it seems like it's mostly a secure internal system. It doesn't go out to any outranet. It's all an intranet located within inside this facility. You break through the few protections they have because it doesn't seem like they're too worried about outside influences here. It's pretty out of the way. No one else is really coming and going from this facility, and it doesn't broadcast anything out or receive any transmissions really coming in. So you're able to break through this intranet, and you find kind of the System 32 file, and you delete it. It's gone. You see all the files start slowly wiping off the computer, and then after it all starts wiping, you see the little intranet connection blink out. In the room you're in, you hear you're still in the monitor room. No,
I just entered.
You just entered, but you hear from the monitor room, you hear the one gray go, I just lost everything. It's everything. The whole computer. It looks like it just got wiped. I've got no connection to anything anymore. And the other two grays kind of bust out of the room real quick, and they're like, what? And you see them all gathering around this monitor, and you hear kind of shouts and exclaims coming from the rest of the facility as well, as it seems there's a commotion going throughout the facility.
Must have been the rat. All right, so I'm gonna hurriedly go over to Sylarisk. I'm gonna can I grab your flesh like I'm like holding you up like a shirt collar?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
Just
All right, you're gonna follow along here.
doesn't really like shift my body. Just
Alright, Sylarisk, I'm so sorry I had to sell you, but we're gonna get you out now.
So there's two of them in the room, right?
They ran out of the room, and the three of them are kind of in this monitor room.
And they can't see that I'm in.
They can't see into the room that you're in, but I remember you stepped out into the monitor room and shut the door.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, because I'm trying to obscure. I'm trying to skewer like the outside.
Yeah.
To like this whole
shut
room.
the room to the monitor door.
Yeah.
And you're kind of still in the experimentation room. There's like three of them clustered around one little monitor standing next to each other.
So if I were to like intentionally make shadows to try to intimidate them, to I want to get like I want to like puppeteer this, like get actually like further away from the window, but like get really like up close to the lights that are hanging above to make it look like I'm just huge and across the whole room.
Roll me an intimidation check.
I have a +3 to this. So.
Can I like?
Nat 1. Let's go.
Can I scream if the big guy screams? Well.
Yeah, go ahead. With the help.
11 plus 3 is 14.
Teamwork.
You kind of, and you see the shadow fill across the panes. The splinters of glass kind of crack and fragment this shadow, and they break it up, and so it just looks huge as it expands across. And you hear the three of them all. Oh my God! I didn't know they could do that. Someone write that down.
On one computer, they're all fried.
You see one of them pull out a little scratch note.
And then
I gotta get that.
So is the room like locked? Like no one knows what's going on in the room?
From what you can tell, the outside does not know what's happening in this monitor room.
Okay. I want to grab a couple syringes.
Okay.
And so I went from like making this big thing, and I want to just like make no shadow dip to make it like where'd he go?
Full stealth check. And what did you get on your stealth check?
24.
24. And with that, Ticknor, what would you like to do?
After screaming about seeing such an awful sight, I'm gonna sort of like ignite my dashko and put up my shield, and I'm gonna tell the the Greys, group up behind me. And I'm gonna sort of like start backing up.
Where are you backing them up to? Like in the corner of the room or towards where you are?
In sort of like a corner, yeah. So I'll be like meeting them.
Yeah, they quickly just kind of hide behind you.
Whoosh!
Are you just swinging your dashko?
Yep, and I have the cleave and great cleave features, so I can just take them all out at once.
Roll the hit. You've got advantage. They don't see this coming.
Let's see. So
this is straight up murder.
22. I'm fishing for the crit. Another 22 for the first one.
Yeah.
That's like a 36 or something.
Yeah.
Fishing for the crit.
How many? Just one. Oh.
Yeah. So essentially, when you cleave and great cleave, you roll for as how many as you can hit.
Sounds good.
Then I have to resolve. I have to do a resolve point to hit the last one with great cleave.
I see you.
But yeah, finish for the crit. No, but they will all be taking 2d12 plus 12 damage.
They're they're dead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna intentionally swing for their heads so I don't get their clothes.
Yeah, you've got it backed into this corner, and you just kind of flip real quick. You just turn your feet, and you just swing this Dashko, and they're dead. They drop to the floor. They don't even let out a scream.
Sylarisk, I have an outfit for you.
I break a little hole in the glass and like crawl through it and go and like not knowing they're dead and go. Ah! Oh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna direct him to like put on some of the gray clothes. Is there a vent in the room?
Yeah, there's vents.
Yeah, I'm gonna like punch in one of the vents and rip out the like vent cover.
All right. Yeah, you just rip it out. You can see these vents kind of run across each of the rooms.
Yeah. Then once you're in a gray and suited up, I'm gonna like open up the door and like have you like coddled. It escaped! It's in the vents! Where are my prisoners? We need to leave now!
You hear the sounds of raptor violence coming from the room over.
That would be my prisoner.
Now, since you all are back together.
Yeah. I'll just bundle them all up underneath my arm.
You got all three? You got like Sylarisk in one arm and these two in the other?
Yep.
All right.
So I'm just gonna start confidently walking out while everyone's sort of panicking.
As you get to the mess hall, it's a madhouse. There are just hundreds of grays in here, all going nuts. You see a lot of the tables have just been coated in papers. You see people are scribbling stuff down. People are like, does anyone remember any of the data? And you hear just shouting and commotion across the room as people are trying to scramble to save any data that they can hopefully like scavenge up. As you're kind of walking around, you see on a couple of the handheld devices and a couple computers that people have pulled out all you see on the screens is just a little Miros peeking over a little wall. And it just says Miros was here.
I'm gonna sort of shovel the rat closer to me.
All right, you're striding away.
Are there any sort of equivalents to a fire alarm?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that, and I'm just gonna sort of scoot.
Yeah, you just kind of, and you hear, and sprinklers kind of drop down from the ceiling and start spraying out. And you see the papers around everyone are getting soaked and like, oh no, not the papers.
Walking.
And you just stride away.
I'm also going to be like, no, so much data and information.
This is terrible. These guys.
Are you heading for the door?
Yep, same one we came in.
Yeah, you just stride out into the cold. You do hear a different alarm start ringing throughout the facility, though. This sounds more like a klaxon. It seems that your crimes in one of the rooms may have been discovered.
Well, running!
Which crime it was.
So we're outside now?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are outside, successfully out of the facility. You guys are heading to the ship?
Yep.
Let's go.
You guys board the ship.
Crix, you've got a great man to meet when we get back.
Orangutan James is just kind of sitting there. The gun is just kind of laying on the floor. You see a couple extra blast holes in the ship, but he seems like he dropped it. You do see a little singe on his fur on his shoulder. It seems like he must have messed around and singed some of his fur off.
What are we gonna do with you?
Oh, James.
Sylarisk, you mind answering me a few questions? Because this drive's got a lot on it.
Well, there's a lot on it. I don't know if I can
Massacres, genocides.
People do that.
Pillaging. Your people did it a lot, it seems.
Oh, my people. I was taken as a child, okay? These people, for years, they ran experiments on me. Did horrible things to me, pulled me apart, put me back together again.
Well,
You think I had a hand in doing any of that?
it sounds like that if you did, you'd be doing it to other people.
I escaped the moment my chance arose. I didn't do any of their bidding. The moment they put me out on the field, I froze. And whenever we were on the ship, someone destroyed half of it, and I took my chance and got out of there.
Do you even know of anything of your home world, of your people?
A little bit, yeah.
Of the genocide and murders?
Okay.
I don't know, these files are reading a lot more than a few.
Oh, okay. So do you think that they're only testing the people who are hiding? No, they're testing the people who are obvious, okay?
Everyone, calm down. There's no need for us to fight about this.
Those horrible actions by those people. I have dedicated my life to heal, okay? And you must trust that I am here to help our team. And the first thing that I must tell is to use that compass. We need a crystal.
Well, by God, I hope you're right. By God, I hope you don't take after your ancestors.
Did they talk about its whereabouts?
No, they have no idea. They didn't even go after... They knew where the compass was the whole time. But
Damn.
since they don't know where the crystal is, they don't know how to get it in the first place, so...
Damn, we're at a dead end now.
You start lifting off from the planet, and as you're about to break the atmosphere, your sensors pick up another ship. And it seems to be a gray... this seems to be not a science vessel. This seems to be a gray military vessel that seems to be taking off from the planet and following you.
Are we gonna have to shoot that?
Open.
all right, I'll open up.
Ship like it is locked onto us.
It seems to be in pursuit.
I'll open up
sensors
comms if they're trying to like talk to us.
You open up a comm link. They establish the comm link, and you hear, "Gray commanding military personnel, please report your status and your business."
This is Vesk military. We were here and just left the planet.
Yes, we know. We picked you up on our sensors. This was an unauthorized landing. Please give us your papers. You transmit the information, and the comm link cuts off.
Wait.
Your sensors pick up weapons are starting to lock.
Oh, we need to get out of here.
Hold on, I want to. Can I reopen them? Be like, wait.
Comms don't establish. They don't reestablish the comm link. You get into outer space. The gray ship is starting to close in, and then another ship pops up on your sensors, and the gray ship blinks off. For you in the turret, and anyone else looking out into the windows, as you look to where the gray ship is now just a scattered remnant of parts, as it is. There's no sound, but this ship is just a destroyed, floating amount of fragments.
Hey, the ship just disappeared. What happened back there?
It's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
There's remnants, it's gone. Did I even see an explosion?
You didn't see the explosion, but you can tell that it did get exploded. And as you swing your vision back around towards the front of your ship, you see a huge vessel sitting in space. Comlink opens and is attempting to transmit to you.
I shall answer.
Hello! We've been looking for you!
Am I just the only one on screen?
You do see someone on screen. It seems to be a very large, fat man coated in jewelry. He's wearing this velour suit of kind of a maroon. He's got rings all over his fingers. He's got this huge cigar in his mouth. Wow, we've been looking for you. You're a very high value target, my friend. And I wasn't about to let those grays steal my money, now was I? Now, prepare to be boarded.
What? I don't think we should get boarded.
And with that,
I don't think we should.
That's where we're going to end this episode of Phasers and Fates. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And don't forget to catch us next time to see who these guys are and why they're here.
Yay! You're safe now. Woo! Well, for now.
Oh, come on, man. Let's just stop. It was just getting good.
We don't have the budget for a 2-hour episode.
Whatever. But did you see how big that ship was, though?
Yes, actually.
Well, aren't you interested with it at all?
Yes. I'm on the edge of my seat in anticipation.
Well, it doesn't sound like it.
Can't you see the excitement on my face?
No one can even see your... Just give me the book.
Fine.
We are the Sylarisk Mafia. There's someone on your ship that we've been looking for.
Listen, I don't want to kill you, but if you make another run for it, I'm gonna blow your brains out.